Good morning, my people. My people, my people. 4 Caribbean countries have signed on for the Caribbean Court of Justice being their final court of appeal. But when it comes to Jamaica, we are still undecided. So here to update us or talk to us or give us some education on the case of the CCJ, international human rights attorney Jody Ann Quarry joins us. Good morning, Jody.
Good morning, Empress.
It's great to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here with you
How
this
is
morning.
your show on Power 106 doing?
Morning Agenda is doing just fine. In fact, in a few minutes, I'm going to be running across there.
Well, let's get straight to the point,
Yes.
and then we'll tune into you later on.
Of course.
Jody Ann, the Caribbean Court of Justice, as a final court of appeal, why hasn't, well, right now, why haven't we signed on? Why is it not our final court of appeal, Jamaica?
Right now, we have the Privy Council as our court of appeal, and
Yes.
we wanted to move to the Caribbean Court of Justice. But there was a case before the Privy Council about how we wanted to do it. We wanted to give it not the same sorts of protections that we gave the Privy Council. And so the Privy Council said, no, that's not going to work. If you're going to have a final court of appeal, it needs to have protections. So we didn't go ahead with it. So we have 2 political positions now. One that says you have to have a referendum for the people to decide.
But that's not by our constitution. Isn't it a 2/3 majority?
Good. We don't require a referendum like Eastern Caribbean states, for example, need. But we also have another position that says, why go to the CCJ? We can have our own court of appeal here in Jamaica. I don't support that position.
Who said that?
But some people believe that Jamaica is in the best position to have its own court of appeal. It's a difficult position to maintain since we already pay into the fund of the Caribbean Court of Justice. It's already a court we use for international matters, but the court is 2 types of courts. It's a domestic court and an international court, and it's an amazing invention created in the Caribbean and needs the support of Caribbean people.
So, okay, so right now we go to the UK to settle matters as a final court right now.
Who goes?
I'm asking.
See,
if that
technically
if the
it
UK
exists.
Yeah, but
but
are we using it?
who gets to go? It's only criminal, it's only capital cases, death penalty cases that are free cases that you'll have people running to come support you for free. Apart from that, you have to find a lawyer in the UK, you have to find a lawyer here to find a lawyer in the UK for you. You may or may not get a visa to get into the United Kingdom for your case. It's expensive.
So what you're saying then is that the CCJ, which is based in Trinidad, would be the best thing for Jamaicans?
Access to justice is an issue that is raised here. If you can go across to Trinidad with a passport because you're part of CARICOM, you get to access justice. The cases that go to the Privy Council are 2 kinds: death penalty and the extremely wealthy in Jamaica. When we don't have this conversation as to who benefits from not having us go to the CCJ, then we start saying, oh, it's politicians who benefit who don't want to have electoral cases quickly dealt with. It's very important in society who don't want John Doe to be able to bring a case.
Why are we still not there, Jody? We're hearing discourse about mistrust, but the CCJ, 7 judges from different regions, right, preside over the CCJ?
Different countries across the CARICOM region, they're part of the CCJ. There's a difficulty what the CCJ presents. You see, when you have a judgment from the Privy Council, you can always look and say, Lord, them not understand Jamaica, you know, them not really get it. But when you have a judge from a Caribbean country, and there is a Jamaican justice on the court, he wouldn't be able to preside over Jamaican cases.
Okay.
But there's a Jamaican justice on the court. When you have people there who understand what cultural context means in for a particular case, then those cases have more weight. And it's much easier to get away from a precedent by saying they never really understand the context.
So you're pro-CCJ?
I am 100% pro-CCJ. I worked at the CCJ as an intern there as part of the CCJ moot. I know the judges. I know what it is that we're getting into, but I also appreciate that we're doing an awful job about explaining to people just how important the CCJ is and what it means. It's people like me who already believe that talking to the converted is we're not doing a very good job of explaining to individuals that their rights are affected as well.
Right. So what's our current Prime Minister's stance on this? I saw former Prime Minister Bruce Golding publish an article about it in the Observer, I think it was November 8th, saying Jamaicans are not engaged in serious discussions in the CCJ. What do we need to do from a government standpoint, and what are you hearing the current administration saying about this?
What we need to do from a government standpoint is education. Somebody had made a comment saying, oh, we need to have non-partisan education about the CCJ. everything is partisan, everything is political. But what we need to have is a conversation that says to people, you know what? No matter which party is in power, you must have somebody who defends your rights.
Right.
And you need to have that conversation whether or not a party is uncomfortable. I also don't want there to be a referendum that starts off just from the basis of my party said no, so we're not going to defend it.
So we're not going to do it.
Take it from a position of you as a person. If your uncle is in jail, there are states of public emergency and zones of special operations happening right now. You need a court that may need to investigate if rights have been violated.
Exactly.
You need that.
I know you have to go to work, but I can't leave without asking you. I'm pulling up the article on my phone, published in the Gleaner on Saturday. Human rights attorney Jodi Ann Quarry is Jamaica's newest UN fellow. Yes! You have been named as one of the 2018 United Nations Fellows for People of African Descent. Let me put down the notes and tell Jamaica tell us all about this.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you so very much. I'm a UN fellow. It's a huge deal.
Yes.
I have worked at CCJ. I've worked at the Inter-American Commission as a Romulo Gallegos fellow. So the only thing left was the UN, and I got the UN fellowship, so I'm incredibly happy about that. I leave on Saturday to Geneva, Switzerland, and a fellowship at the UN means that they will teach me intensively UN procedures and procedures. They'll show me how to use a UN human rights system to defend and protect and promote human rights. They'll show me how to help people get justice from their government. They'll show me the routes and things that you can use. And so I'm incredibly grateful to have the opportunity and then come back and use and share it.
I love that. Will you be fighting for reparations?
I'm a reparations. I work for the Center for Reparation Research. So that is part of how I got there and then part of the skills that I will bring back to that.
People of African descent need you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And to all the girls watching right now, if you want to have a role model, you want somebody that can inspire you, just follow her articles, listen to her on the morning agenda on Power 106 in the mornings, and look at her hair. This is what you need to look at when you're looking at mentorship for people of African descent.
You're a gem.
I love you, Jodi Ann.
Mwah.
God, no. I don't want you to be late. Go to work.
I will.
But
Join me in a few minutes on
Yes,
morning agenda.
and you're going to miss out on the band.
I know, they've been amazing. I've been hearing them this morning.
Let's go to the band as Jodi goes to work, and we'll be right back.